now you're very actively singing in Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, and other languages as well. So your schedule must be all over the place, right? You're traveling so much. So how do you keep up with?
See, the I mean, such schedule, it happens in bursts. So it's not like we are not like actors where their schedule is chock a block for 45 days or 35
Right.
days or 20 days or something. I still don't know. See, I know what I'm going to be doing until say 4 days later.
Right.
After that, I have no clue what's going on, unless and until it's a concert overseas which is scheduled at least 3 months in advance. Those are the things that are planned ahead because of visas and official other things. But my schedule is always changing at the drop of a phone call and booking of a flight. So
Right.
it's fine. I like it. Some days it's exhausting, I should be honest. Some days I wish I can just sleep it off, but I'm very happy. This is what I wanted. This is where I wanted to be in life, and I'm very grateful.
Like what? Living out of the suitcase? Like,
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. If I don't live out of the suitcase now, I don't get to work with as many new composers and as many new songs and as much of a rich musical experience. But I guess living out of the suitcase was always written.
but this also means that you might miss out on a lot of songs because you're at a different place when they require you in that studio, right?
That is something that we can't help it. I mean,
Right.
if I have to lose out on a song because I'm in a different place, it already did happen a couple of days ago, but can't help.
You just let it go, is it?
You got to let it go. Initially, it'll be like, but then what do? You can't be at two places. That's when I wish science can come up with something interesting, so I can be at two places at the same time. I have always fantasized splitting into 3 or 4 people so that I could go full time, learn somewhere, and learn music full time, and then be home and do my baking and just being at home and all that. The other person must be performing and doing all that. Once in a while, all these 4 personas should come together and completely take down all this collective wisdom and then go like that. I keep thinking of it. But yeah, I have no clue if that's happening in a parallel universe, but right now it's not happening in my
Your brain
conscious.
must be going haywire with all these ideas that you want to really
Yeah,
experiment with.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Why is that so? Are you a very restless person? Do you want to do too many things at once?
I'm restless, yes. So there are times that I'd like just be in the same place. I'll sit through the day in one place also. That's also possible.
Very impulsive.
I'm impulsive also.
Right.
Impulsive. I'm a restless soul. I'm all over the place, and also I can be at one place in one corner through the day.
So you're also juggling with a lot of other stuff other than singing and dubbing, right? You have your own translation company, Blue Elephant, and recently you started another architectural decor thing, right? So why? I mean, that's all I want to know. Right?
Why what? Why the
Why
architectural?
so much thing? Like you cannot draw a line saying that maybe this is what led her to do this, because a lot of people are very focused on what they want to do, and you somehow manage to find time for everything. So how does that happen?
See, Blue Elephant happened because I learned German and French before I finished school.
Okay.
And a cousin asked me to translate a 120-page document, and from there I realized that there is a need for a company that gives services such as these. And my singing career hadn't taken off in such a big way that I was so busy, and it helped that I could finally I could get some sort of a financial security from a company, which is why Blue Elephant started, because of several reasons. One, the biggest reason was financial security.
Okay.
The second one was it was something completely different from what I was doing, art and everything that is not structured to something that's structured and that's corporate and deadlines. I like that. And also, if you look at it, again, I'm doing things which all have one creative scheme running through. Language and translation requires a certain talent. It's not something that somebody can just sit. Just because you know 2 languages doesn't mean that you can be a good translator. And my innate love for learning cultures and so many things about cultures and languages, which is why I think once I was speaking to my Latvian and my Lithuanian translator, and they were talking about how many similarities there were between Sanskrit and Lithuanian languages,
Right.
and even customs, the fire practices and things, until I think the Christian missionaries came through, and how what they called as pagan, what was their version of nature worship.
Right.
And nature worship is also very something that's part of our lifestyle here in India.
True.
So he was talking about so many such similarities, and I was, these are things that were mind blowing for me about 10 years ago. And each time I speak to, say, for example, in I think Korean, I think it's amma is amma in Korean as well, and also in Japan, one of the biggest. This is something that my mentor told me when I went for this US State Department mentoring program. That one of the biggest challenges of Japanese women is that they need to come up with creatively presented bento boxes each day for lunch for their kids. Otherwise, it's peer pressure, and that apparently takes them 2 or 3 hours to design. And apparently, when she went to Japan, she asked these women, "What is your biggest challenge in the corporate sector?" And they said bento boxes. That they had to design their school kids' lunch boxes in a different way. Each day it has to be creatively, beautifully decorated, and you can, Japanese and the sticklers for everything, perfection and everything else. So they actually work up at 4 to design these boxes for at least 2.5 to 3 hours. And I'm like, oh my good Lord, lunch box for your kid, and that's a peer pressure, and then hence the woman doesn't get to sleep as much as she'd like to. This is something that she heard, so I'd really like to go back and find out if this is as big a challenge as it is even today. So many such cultural things. Even in India, I keep asking a lot of people about why do they do this, why do they do that. Each community, if there is a certain religious practice that they do, what is the story behind it? I'm interested in such stories more than anything else. For example, there's the Chettiars in Tamil Nadu have this thing called Pullayar Nombi. So there's since they were traditionally merchants, they would be seafarers. So before they set off for sail, apparently they would have this puja for Ganpati, and there'll be a lamp, and they will swallow the lamp along with the wick and the flame. So I said, why? So I was fascinated by it, and I said, I want to know this. I want to come and see. So I saw one such thing where all the men, women, everybody would swallow that lamp. It would be lit there. It would be made of flour, of course. It's not a clay lamp. I should have said that. So it's a flour, I think rice flour and other things. So they will light it and swallow it. So I presume by the time it actually, when they close their mouth, I think the flame would have gone out, but it looks scary. You're actually swallowing flame and all that. So by default, and I would be very interested to know why in weddings or rituals, or why some rituals happen in a certain order. And when I attended the same family's wedding in Chettinad, they had brought the goldsmith, and he was making the thali right then and there. He was forging it there during the muhurtam. And I'm interested in all these stories about cultures and people and languages. Maybe at some point I'll probably even pick up anthropology, but someday.
For more videos, please subscribe to iDream.
Hi, this is Sai Kripa, strength coach. For more videos, please subscribe to iDream.
And more videos, please subscribe to iDream Media.
Hi, I'm Sirisha Reddy, fashion designer. Please subscribe to iDream Media.
For more videos, please subscribe iDream Media.
Please do subscribe to iDream.
హలో అందరికీ నమస్కారం, నేను మీ గెటప్ శ్రీను. ప్లీజ్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టు iDream Media.
iDream అంటే నా కళల ఛానల్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకున్న నోరు తిరుగుతలేదు, మీరైతే గంట గుర్తు కొట్టండి.